Hey everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back. Our MC Kafka Hibino was your average guy. Well, as average as one can be when they're working a dead-end job cleaning up after giant monsters, aka Kaiju.
Ah, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
He's dreaming of being one of the heroes in the defense force, taking down Kaiju and saving the day. You know, classic stuff, right? But reality, as it so often does, was quick to crush those dreams.
I've got a dream. She's got a dream. I've got a dream. She's got a dream.
Kafka wasn't out there slaying Kaiju with an awesome sword. No, he's the one who had to scrub up the mess after the heroes did their job. But Kafka's life was about to take a very weird turn. One day, after another typical Kaiju battle, Kafka's in the middle of his usual cleanup when something strange happens. See, Kafka isn't just a regular guy who happens to clean up after giant beasts. He's got a secret. And that secret? He can transform into a Kaiju himself. Sounds convenient, right? Except, it's not like Kafka can control when this is happening. It's more of a random, inconvenient power.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Kafka's secret is not something he's particularly proud of. I mean, after all, who would want to become a monster in a world that spends all of its time killing them? How did this happen, you ask? Well, Kafka wasn't always just a cleanup guy. Years ago, when he was in the Defense Force's cadet program, he had dreams of becoming one of the elite soldiers who took down Kaiju for a living. But when it came for the big test, Kafka wasn't cut out for it. In fact, he bombed it spectacularly. No hero status for him, but then came that fateful day when Kafka's life was about to change forever.
Here we go.
In one of his earlier missions, Kafka was injured during a battle with a powerful Kaiju. What should have been a simple accident turned out to be the key to unlocking Kafka's strange new abilities. His transformation was more of a curse than a blessing here. If anyone found out, they'd label him a threat, and Kafka would be hunted down just like the very monsters he used to dream of fighting. Hey, if you're liking this recap, don't forget to join us. Hit that subscribe button. Okay, so one day, while doing his usual cleanup job after a Kaiju battle, Kafka, in a stroke of bad luck, his body begins to change, his human form slowly being overtaken by his Kaiju side. The problem? An old man is nearby, and Kafka, in a panic, tries to convince the guy that he's not a threat. The old man, of course, freaks out and calls the Defense Force. Kafka's life just went from bad to worse. The Defense Force is now hunting for him, and Kafka realizes he's no longer just a janitor in the background. He's the one everyone's after. Classic Kafka luck. Now Kafka's on the run, dragging his newbie friend, Rino Ichikawa, along for the ride. Rino's an idealistic young recruit who wants nothing more than to join the Defense Force and become a hero. Rino thinks Kafka is just some washed-up former Kaiju slayer who's seen better days. He's convinced Kafka can still make it, despite the fact that Kafka is pretty much a walking time bomb of Kaiju transformation. Rino keeps pushing Kafka to apply for the Defense Force again, thinking that Kafka is his ticket to greatness. Kafka, however, is just trying not to get caught by the Defense Force, while simultaneously avoiding any monster-sized rampages that might give away his secret. Eventually, Kafka gets the idea that maybe, just maybe, he can take another shot at that dream of being in the Defense Force. He doesn't really believe in himself anymore, but Rino's persistent optimism is hard to ignore. So, Kafka fills out the application, hoping that somehow his secret powers will stay hidden.
Nice.
But that's not how things go.
That's what she said.
When Kafka faces the grueling trials of the Defense Force selection process, it's clear that his Kaiju form is both his greatest asset and his worst enemy. Every time he tries to suppress his powers, it feels like they're just waiting for a chance to burst out. And it's not like Kafka can control when that happens. He's basically a ticking Kaiju bomb. Despite his best efforts to stay under the radar, Kafka gets caught in another Kaiju attack, and, surprise surprise, his Kaiju powers kick in. He transforms and, for a moment, becomes the very thing he's always wanted to fight. It's a chaotic battle, and Kafka, despite his best intentions, ends up fighting a Kaiju that's terrorizing the area. As much as he tries to control it, Kafka's body betrays him and he goes full monster mode. And here's the thing, he's not just fighting with the defense force, he's a part of the very threat they've been training to destroy. Kafka, still clinging to his dream of becoming one of the good guys, is now the kaiju everyone's hunting. Yeesh. Mina Ashiro, the elite captain of the defense force, is the one who faces down Kafka in his kaiju form. She's the person Kafka has always admired, the epitome of everything he wanted to be. Mina has been fighting kaiju for years, and is one of the most respected figures in the entire force, so when Kafka, still in his kaiju form, gets caught in the crossfire, Mina sees him for what he really is. A threat. But Kafka, even as a giant monster, tries to make a connection with her. He wants to prove that he's still the same person, still the same guy who dreamed of fighting alongside her. But Kafka isn't just fighting for himself anymore. He's fighting for his place in the world, for his chance to stand up next to people like Mina and become the hero he once dreamed of.
Come on, man.
He's no longer just some janitor cleaning up kaiju guts. No, now he's part of the story, whether he likes it or not. And while Kafka struggles to control his monstrous urges, well, he finds himself forced to step up, using his abilities to help the very people he once wanted to fight alongside. In the end, Kafka's journey is an exploration of identity, sacrifice, and the harsh truth that life doesn't always give us what we want. As he faces his worst fear, becoming the very thing he's been fighting against, Kafka must navigate the blurred lines between man and monster. The defense force, with its unwavering ideals of heroism, sees Kafka as nothing more than a threat to be neutralized. Yet, Kafka's struggle isn't about eradicating the kaiju within him. It's about finding a way to survive without losing the humanity that still flickers inside. If you enjoyed this, keep coming back for more, and I'll catch you next time.